Hi, hello, namaste. My name is Abhishek Pathak. This is MVC part 11. In this video, I'll cover two things. First one is perform update and delete operation using entity framework database first approach. And second one is MVC interview question. So this is the continuation of MVC part 10. In MVC part 10, we covered how we can perform the create and read operation. So if you have not watched this part 10, so you can watch also. So let's use this update and delete operation using entity framework. This is the same project which we used earlier. Okay, so now let's move to controller. Till now we have written the code for read and create. This action displays all the records from database, and this is used to create or insert the new record. Now we will use the update and delete operation. So how we can use this? So first of all, when we are displaying all the records here, so we have to give some link or something on which user will click, and that is, user will navigate to update screen. So here we can have two more link here at the rate html dot action link. What is this? This is used as an anchor tag. So here we have to say, suppose add it, and what action, which action we want to navigate. So suppose, or we can say edit employee, and the action name is this one. Okay, similarly, let's add more td here, and here we'll say delete employee, and we will be navigating this one. Okay, so for now we have not created the edit and delete action. So let's go to controller, and let's write for edit action. So the public action result, this is edit. So user is going to pass the data. So it also takes one third parameter. From here we have to pass the id. So suppose if user is clicking id number 1, 2, or whatever, then that user id should be passed in this action. So here we can declare the int id, and here we can say id is equal to at the rate item dot EmpId. Okay, similarly here we can write id is equal to item dot EmpId, and let's add one blank one here. Okay, so now we have written the added and delete one. So let's return view, and how we can create the view? Right click and say add view. The view name will be edit. Here we have to create the same form as we created in this one, but here table tr, okay, EmpId. It is important because based on EmpId we will perform the edit operation. So under td we will be having this one td, then html dot text box 4. So what is text box? This is strongly typed text box. So x dot empid. Okay, so at the top we have not declared our model. So how we can declare the model? Then our project name. So if you see what is the project name, MVC underscore uncontact. So MVC uncontact under here tblEmployee. There. Okay, Okay, so when you use this one, it takes little bit time to recognize. So I build the application. It should take now. Okay, and even if you face the issue, what I suggest, just to close this and try to open it again. Right click and say go to view. Why we are doing? Because it is not giving us intelligence. So if okay, still we are not getting intelligence. Let's stop now. Okay, sometime you may also face this issue. So wait for some time or restart your Visual Studio. You will be able to get the intelligence. So second one is again, if you are not sure what are your columns, so I will say use this split screen so that you can see two screen at a time. So first name and here first name. Let's copy how many columns we have to show. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are remaining. So let's use the copy paste. For .NET people love to use the copy paste, but I would suggest first you manually type these things so that you can learn. Last name, then mobile number, here also mobile number, here I think country. Then later stage we will be using the drop down and radio button and all the available controls. Then state, then address. State, then address, then address. I think we are done. Okay, so this is our one table. Let's set one border here. Border is equal to 1. Now there should be one button, like we had one button. We have one button in CRUD also. So input, input. Okay, sorry. Let's create the tr inside that we have to use this input and double tap. And what should be the type? Submit. Always remember the type should be submit, because we are going to submit the form. Here we can say edit employee. Okay, now this table is ready. We have to submit the form. So in MVC, how we can submit this using, and we can use the HTML dot begin form. So it will post the data and it should be inside this begin form. Okay, so now we are done with the HTML, and now similarly let's open the controller. Where is the controller? We will write the this is a get method, and we are going to write the post method as well. So public action result, add it here, tblEmployee EmpId, like this, and this method should be post only. So how post, and did we write the method to update the entity? No. So let's go to ef employee 10, close it. So here we can write the update method. So update will so let's repeat in try and catch. How we can update in an MVC in entity frame? First we have to fetch the record. Okay, so suppose we want to update the ID number 1, then we have to fetch that data, then modify here, and then we can perform the update operation. So let's write where data. How we can write from item in db context. If you remember this db context, this is the object of this entity db context, and where it is defined here, and this class inherits this db context. Db context is base class. So these all topics I have covered in earlier videos. So if you want to learn through scratch, I would say go through all the videos. Okay, and we have to use the where clause item dot empid. So emp dot, and here always remember we have to use the double equal. In SQL we use single equal because in SQL we have different syntax, but in C# to compare the values we use double equal, and here we have to say item. Okay, now I want to update only one record. So here either I can use first or default. Okay, first or default handles the null. It means if suppose there is a ID for which there is no data, if I use this first, so there will be error. So always people prefer first or default if you do want to handle the null values. Okay, now how we can perform the update? So data at first name. Okay, this is the existing data and this is a new data emp. So say emp dot first name. Similarly last name, so last name, here also last name. And I would suggest you go through step by step process, and if you're watching your first time, you're new to MVC, so while watching this video you can practice, and if you have any difficulty then you can mail me, you can message me in this video comment. So next one is gender, emp.gender, then data dot mobile number, then emp.gender, mobile number, then data dot country. So all the columns which are available you have to write like this. So data dot anything state, emp dot state, data dot address. I think we are done. Emp dot address. Okay, so in last video I explained whenever we are performing create, update and delete, then what we have to use? We have to use the save changes. If you don't use the save changes, so your data or your changes will not reflect in a database. So this line is very important when in case of create, read, update and delete. Okay, yeah, so this method returns true. Suppose there is an error occurred, then we are going to return false. Okay, so we are done for this update one, and last one is delete. Okay, so let's write the delete one also. So when you want to delete particular record, then ID is quite sufficient. So in delete employee, what we will be passing? We will pass the int ID, or we can say employee ID, whatever we want. Here first of all what we have to write? First, write the query to fetch the record. So item in db context dot tblEmployees where item dot empid double equal id. And since we want to retrieve the first one record only, then what we can use the first record. Okay, first default. And we want to we want to delete the data, then we have to use this remove method. What it takes, we have to pass this data, and again, since it is a delete, what we will be doing, we will be calling the db context dot save changes. Okay, now let's write in try catch. So what I'm doing, try, I'm pressing double tap, so this is a shortcut. So try double tap inside that, paste it and say return true, and here we can say return false. Okay, so we have written all the queries. Now let's go to controller. We already have written the views for this edit here, where data is equal to del dot. What is del? Del is the object name here. So del dot get update. I think the name is update. Yeah, and what it takes, emp. Okay, and when user will first time user wants to update any record, so that record must be displayed on view. So where data, suppose that get, I think they have not written the get one. Okay, so to retrieve the single record, we have not written the method. So suppose if I want to retrieve the single record, it's quite simple. tblEmployee, because it is single, get emp by id int id where data. Now let's write the lambda expression. How we can write it? db context dot tblEmployees dot where. So this is known as a lambda expression. X dot emp id double equal id, and how many records we want to retrieve? Only one. So we can write the first or default, and I explained earlier what is the difference between first and first or default. First handles the null values. The first does not handle the null values, but first or default handles the null values. Then return the data. Okay, so here we can say get by id, and we have to pass the model. Always remember, whenever we want to display the data or something, then what we can do, we can pass the data. And what is this data? Data is nothing but a model. Okay, once this edit is completed, what we have to say, redirect to action. Redirect to action is going to display all the records, and once update is completed, that will be visible in this table here. Now let's write the action result delete one. Okay, for delete one we don't need any screen. We are going to directly pass that id in this method or action, and this method is going to delete the record. Then we will navigate to this index one. So as if now we are not using this boolean return, but later stage we can use this if this is updated or not. Sometimes we will get error and we'll get this return false, but for now we are not using it. And del dot delete employee id, and once that is successful, again redirect to action where index. Okay, so we are done. So let's run our application. I hope everything will be fine. So this is the first time we are running, and last time we inserted only one record. So application is running. This is localhost. Yeah. So as we can see, this is only one record we have. Let's add another record here. So suppose Anka, tag, gender female, mobile number, some general data, country India, Maharashtra, and Koperkherani. Okay, save employee. So how many records we have? Two records. So edit employee and delete employee. So first of all, we'll see, and if you see, I have missed this Koperkherani spelling. E is missing. So let's click on this and update it. Suppose mobile number is changed. So let's update it and click on this edit, and now record is updated. Okay. Similarly, if you want to delete the record, let's click on this delete button. Okay, now record is deleted. But okay, so when we are clicking this, it is going to navigate on these methods, and operations are performed. So in video number 9 and this 10th one, we learned how we can perform the CRUD operation. So this is your read operation, this is your create operation, and this is your update operation. Okay, and last one is delete operation. Okay, so this is altogether entity framework CRUD operation which I showed you. So in video number 9 I showed you, sorry 10th, I showed you entity framework, database first, create, read, and sorry, in video 10 I showed you create and read operation, and in this video 11 I explained how we can perform the update and delete operation. Okay, now let's move to another one, MVC interview question. So what is CRUD operation? So I explained CRUD is create, read, update, delete. In interview you may be asked, have you, how you can perform the CRUD operation. So what is the link you query to get all records from database? So if we go to this del, and where is, yeah, so this is the link you query by which we can get all the records. And similarly, how to use the where clause in link you query. So there are two ways. We can use this lambda expression, or we can use this where clause also. And how to post the data in MVC. So let's take one more example, create. So first of all you have to write the data. Okay, and once you write this data, you have to create one button, and always remember the type should be submit, and this begin form we have to use the server side HTML.begin form. Let's run this application, and I just want to show one more thing here. If we go to suppose create one, okay, if I show you, and because I want to show how that form is created, I will show you the view page source of that particular page. Right click and say view page source. So here if you see that form action employee create and post, why it is created like that? Because we have used this HTML begin form. Okay, and what is the last question here? What is HTTP post attribute? So when you are posting the data in MVC, then what we can do, we can use this post one. Okay, I hope you know the difference between get and post. So that's it from this video. In upcoming video I'll show you some more MVC topics. I hope you have liked my video. If you want this project as well, please subscribe and give me your email ID so that I can share. Thank you for watching. Bye, good night.